And you made a comparison that I thought was really well put, and I hadn't put it into looked at it through this lens before, but between prohibition and the vaccine mandates. Can you kind of make that again really quick for my listeners on this show? Because it kind of was a white pill for some who fear that these mandates are going to be over the top. And it was an interesting lens to look through it.
So I am like not a materialist. I do not have a materialist view of reality. And one of the things that means is that I believe in like national character. I think that there's, characteristics of Americans that make them Americans. And one of the things that I think makes Americans, one of our kind of common characteristics is that we're intensely stubborn people, and we will kind of put up with some red tape and some bureaucracy, but we don't really like being ordered around in our daily lives. And prohibition is an excellent example of Americans just saying, no, I'm not going to comply with that. They don't have any kind of analysis of, the state and its proper role or anything like this. They just want to get a drink. And I think that what we're experiencing in response to the COVID cult right now, in terms of the vaccination mandate, certainly, but also in terms of the masking mandates, the hoops that people have been expected to jump through. I think that what we're seeing is just, the laziness of Americans is not a fabricated thing. I mean, I will drive my truck from Walmart to Brugger's Bagels on the other side of the strip mall, and as I'm sure many of you also do. And there's lots of hoops to jump through, the level of involvement and compliance. And then you have just the skepticism of the government is telling us to do this, which, by the way, I don't know that there's any data on this, but I do know that there's data that some of the lowest vaccination rates are in the Black community, which is funny because, the narrative is like, oh, it's these dumb MAGA rednecks who won't get vaccinated. And I'm dying to know what percentage of what they call vaccine hesitancy in the Black community is in response to like Tuskegee experiment stuff. I would suspect that it's non-negligible. Mm-hmm. So again, like this is kind of, I think that people need to like kind of undo their training in terms of thinking about things like they're Democrats, small d. Like, I don't care if 50% plus one are getting the vaccine and not resisting anything. It matters not at all to me. Because if 10% of people are doing something in a country of 330 million or whatever, that's a big, big deal. Mm-hmm. So when I say, I'm sure that it's a non-negligible portion of the Black community who are not getting vaccinated because they don't trust the very concept of a government vaccine, call it 5%. That's a lot of people, man.